guys, it's Chris. We're here first day at VNE in Foxwoods, Connecticut, and we are here with.
Jesus Bermudez.
He's so formal, first and last name, guys. Jesus, when did you? How long did you smoke for?
You said how long did I smoke for?
Yeah.
Originally, when I got out of the military, I had started smoking cigarettes, and then I had to get away from them. So I started my own business doing hookah. So for a while, I was Mr. Hookah. I was all over Hartford, and then I decided, nicotine is not the best. Let's try and switch over to vapor and pull it down, because the amount that I was smoking was just not good, and I actually wanted to see my son grow up. So I would say about, I'm 28 now. Probably started when I was about 23. So.
And what made you start vaping? I mean, you kind of answered, but
Honestly, like I said, I wanted to see my son grow up. So they said that there was a whole bunch of controversy about smoking vape was actually 3 times as much cigarettes that you would smoke daily. But there's always people that when new things are up and coming that it's going to be this and that. But after smoking it for a while, I realized I didn't have as much. I had stronger lungs, but I wasn't wheezing. I could actually go to the gym and not be worried about, am I going to have breath for cardio day? And, switching over ultimately was one of the best things for me.
that's the best. I really wish people would listen to that, because that's the best way to know. You know your body. And if you're feeling better, and like if say you had asthma and now you don't, or you were wheezing before and now you're not, I mean, obviously you're doing something right?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you remember your first vape device, and what nicotine were you using?
It was an e-leaf, and it was out of Fat Daddy Vapers in Connecticut of Salasdine Highway.
Shout out to Fat Daddy Vapers.
Shout out. Yeah, they did a lot. They actually have a new flavor that they've been using. It's called slush, and the first one I ever tried was cherry slush, and it was amazing. So that was one of the better ones. And then I kept going back and forth. I had tried one by Tsunami, and it wasn't as good to me, but it was a lot cheaper at the time. So I would switch back and forth periodically.
And so what Nick do you vape at now?
I vape at 0 because nicotine is still in my system every now and then. Like, I still smoke it, but it's a little too harsh for me. So I originally when I started vaping, I did it for more smoke, just to get more people coming. But now that I'm actually into it, I'm doing different mods. I have the oil rig today, but I had the e-leaf, and then I went from the e-leaf to the, oh wow, Jonathan, which one did I first buy after I bought the e-leaf? It was the red and black one. It had a trigger. Yeah, I had a Vapepresso. Yes.
Target?
One of the best ones that I had, and I had sold it because I had stopped vaping for a while, but when I got back into it, it was just definitely one of the better things to do.
So did you ever, like, even, in your smoking days, hookah days, whatever, and you said you wanted to quit so you could be around for your son, did you ever try any other alternatives like the patch or anything like that?
I tried the patch one day. It just made me very sick. So I was just like, I stopped, and then I tried, going cold turkey. For a year or 2 straight was good, but I have an attitude problem, so anything that pissed me off, I was like, all right, I'm going out for a smoke. So then one day I just tried picking up a vape, and it was the equivalency until I smoked way too much and got sick. So I went down to 0, and I found out that a little bit of lightheadedness, but other than that, it was a lot easier than smoking cigarettes.
Right. And if there was one thing that you could say to our representatives about vaping, what would it be?
Vaping definitely changed the game for a lot of people, like from hookah to cigarettes. I mean, there's a lot of companies that people be worried about, but, everybody's going to make their money. But vaping is definitely the future.
Absolutely. I really feel that too. I think that, well, I'm optimistic that we're going to be okay. And, it's so hard too, because I feel like it's not really for us. We already get it. We already understand. It's for your children, my children, anybody who, feels they need to pick up a cigarette. you know, can make a healthier alternative.
And with vaping, it's not as much of a fan base. It's more like a community. Like you get together with people. You're smoking a cigarette. First of all, you always have somebody that's trying to bum one off you. Versus if you're vaping, somebody asks, you know, what do you have in the chamber, or where'd you get your vapor from, or what's your setup look like? You know, it's never a competition. It's more like, all right, what flavor you have, or let me try it, or do you have a card or a number, and you just put people on, and then before you know it, you're networking.
That is so true. I mean, we talked about this a lot in Atlanta. Like, have you ever been to a smoking convention? Like,
It's actually my first convention.
right. And you know, we laugh because, you know, as smokers, we would go outside, we would smoke, or maybe you'd be at work and you go to the smoking lounge. Or, well, I used to have smoking lounges. I'm a dinosaur. But anyway, you know, you go outside and you smoke, but like people just kept to themselves. It wasn't this. It wasn't this here. You know, I mean, it wasn't a family, you know? So that's amazing. So thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. No problem. It was my pleasure.